So a little while back, a company on my Instagram feed popped up called HelloReal, and they were featuring a bunch of content creators, so thought I'd reach out to them. Yes, it was me who reached out to them. I recognized a few faces, so I was curious about what they were doing and if they needed help with promotion. So we got talking back and forth.
I guess you could say things are getting pretty serious.
And man, I was feeling like the king. They were ready to send me any accessory I wanted. But there was a stipulation. I wasn't allowed to rank or review it. This raised a ton of red flags for me. They said they'd prefer if I'd feature them in a game. Like this is a game changer for Pistol Whip or something like that. That didn't seem like a fair trade for me. Some accessories I probably won't use for a free commercial, that weighs heavily in their favor. Plus, I just don't like stipulations. I like to be as honest and transparent as possible with my audience. My goal here at FitPro VR is to provide you with educated, realistic, and truthful information in the fitness world that's often littered with a bunch of nonsense and bullshit. So I did what any Ari from FitPro VR would have done, and I turned down the offer. But I was still interested in reviewing these. So I went on their website, and I bought a pair with my own money. What? $50? You kidding me? They have a few different options, but I wanted the best, so I ordered 2 of them. When they arrived, they came in several pieces, as to be expected. Hello. Looks like a Wiimote. Going up for some bowling. Not gonna lie, when you put them together, they're kind of sexy. Feel good in your hand. What did you say to me? Then upon closer inspection, I noticed something a little odd that I didn't expect. They're 3D printed. You can tell based on the striations here. Here's a fun fact. I know all about 3D printing. And let's be honest, I just spent $100 on these things. I want to know if I got my money's worth. So I called up my friend Alan, who has a 3D printing channel. And if anyone could tell me more about this, it's him. Oh, hey, Alan.
Hey folks, MandicReally, the mad scientist of all trades, coming to you for FitPro VR to give a little opinion on this product as a 3D designer and 3D printer myself. My lab assistant and I have taken some time, we've conferred, we've decided how we feel about these, so let's talk about it a little bit. I like the overall idea of what these folks were going for, and I like the overall design. It's got good little details to it, little screw-like accents and rivet holes, and things that really make me feel like some type of cyberpunk weapon here. Now, I personally rarely do limited run sales, but when I do, I'm pretty picky about the actual print quality that I put out there. I go through a little bit QC, making sure that parts fit together, making sure that the print quality is what I want, and some things just get rejected and thrown into a rejects pile, while others head out to customers. I say that because the slide mechanism on this, I have to say, would pass my standards. I think the overall print quality is perfectly acceptable, and I would send that out to a customer. Now, the underside of these is where the print surface quality is really gonna make people go, oh, that's 3D printed, and not in a really positive way. It sits on the print bed like this as far as I can tell, and it requires a lot of supports to be printed that way. I personally design my stuff to make it as easy to print for myself and for others as I can, because it's gonna lead to the best quality. And this seems like it was they roughed out the design, they got the design they wanted, and then they thought about how to print it afterwards, which really doesn't work out in my experience. There are 2 big things about this that stood out to me, and one of them is that it didn't seem very clear that they're 3D printed. All the images on their website were either renders of these things, digital renders, or they were product shots that very clearly did not show the layer inconsistencies, the layer lines, the things that make them clearly 3D printed. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with 3D printed products. I sell 3D printed products myself. But I make a point on my website of putting a little blurb that says, these are 3D printed and made to order. Please understand that layer inconsistencies and layer lines can show up on your parts. That is part of the 3D printing process. I try my best to keep the standards to a high level, but there's always going to be some inconsistency, just to prepare the customer for understanding what the product they're getting is. That also rolls me into a point that they don't state what material these are made of. They do say right underneath the 3D printing statement that these could warp and distort in heat, which tells me that they are most likely made with PLA, which is the most common material in 3D printing right now. but the thing about it is it's a bioplastic. It is made of effectively vegetable oil, which means that it doesn't hold up very well to UV radiation or heat. So say you go over to a friend's house to play and you forget these in the car for a couple of hours. You might come back and have a distorted piece that'll no longer fit your controllers, and it's ruined. And then when it comes to getting rid of them, to recycling them, throwing them away, being a bioplastic, it is technically compostable, but it's only compostable in certain conditions. You can't throw it into your standard compost pile and expect that it's just going to break down. It doesn't work like that. So not knowing what material these are made of means I also don't know how to effectively and properly dispose of them. If they break or I just want to get rid of them, they're most likely going to end up in the landfill and not recycled in a proper way. And I think with that, it's back to you, Ari.
Alright, so I guess these things are fairly decent quality. I didn't get ripped off. So let's take a look at all the features on this thing and how to use it. I mean, point at the thing you want to die is how you use a gun, but let's see how this gun actually works. So there's actually a few cool features here with the Snowfox Pro. First, you can customize the weight to add to the immersion. Want a heavy ass gun? Boom, add quarters. Want something lighter? Boom, don't add quarters. I went with the full 12 quarters because I wanted the weight to feel as realistic as possible to a true handgun, a true loaded handgun. I mean, shoot it, right? We're going immersion, gotta do it right? Sadly, the weight, even at its full capacity, doesn't match that of a real handgun. A fully loaded Snowfox Pro comes out to about 400 grams or 4/5 of a pound if we're talking freedom units. On average, a fully loaded real handgun weighs about 800 grams or about 1.5 pounds. So while it's heavy, it's not really close to the real thing, which is fine. I mean, I know it's not a real gun. I know this, but I give it a pass because it feels solid. It slides in kind of clumsily into the pistol grip, but once it's in, it feels pretty fucking secure. I ain't going anywhere. Then you slide, and everything clicks into place. I was super skeptical about these at first, and I really did think this was gonna be a review video where I was gonna roast the shit out of them, but I mean, so far so good. They feel solid and I like the way they look. Oh, by the way, if you're enjoying this channel or the content I've been putting out, don't forget to hit the like button down below. It really helps my content get pushed out to other people, and it helps me show people my guns. Sun's out, guns out, it's almost summertime. So let's jump into a few games and see if the immersion is truly there, because let's be real, when you have the headset on, you can't see them. They're mostly to match the weight of the handgun and look cool when you're filming. So if you're not a Twitch streamer or YouTuber, you're likely just going to be using them for the previous. The first game that comes to mind is, well, say it with me. That's right, Pistol Whip. I tried to customize my pistols to the ones in real life, but womp womp, no such luck. And I won't lie, these things are actually kind of cool feeling. One of the things I didn't like about the VR dumbbells that I reviewed during the pistol games was that it pulled the pistols off target and felt, well, stupid. This is probably because the weight of the VR dumbbells sat too close to the knuckle, and it was harder to blindly interpret where to aim. But with Snowfox's, the aim isn't affected at all. It's kind of nice. Pistol whipping my enemies feels really good, but something about not actually making contact with a real object when you swing it feels a little awkward. It's still gratifying though, don't get me wrong. The other issue I noticed is that since they're 3D printed, they're plastic, and they definitely feel like you're holding plastic. I wish there was some silicone grips or something like that, but I digress. So for Pistol Whip, I give it an A+. Definitely worth the value. I'd venture to say all games that you only use guns, it's probably gonna be a win. Their website also said Super Hot is a recommended game. This one was just okay for me. See, in Super Hot, you use more than just pistols. You use Uzis and knives and ninja stars and ashtrays and calculators and all sorts of weird stuff. So holding a pistol in your hands while changing objects felt kind of weird and kills the immersion for me. I also tried Drop Dead and it was fine, but it has the same issue with Super Hot in that you're not always using a pistol, so the immersion isn't really consistent. So here's what I'm thinking. If you're a bouncy, cutesy little streamer that, you know, wears little skirts and dances around a Beat Saber and shit, this will probably work out well for you and your audience. They look cool, and you'll look cool with them. And if you enjoy Pistol Whip, it'll add some immersion and feel really nice when you're playing. It feels like a f***ing gun. Beyond that, you're only gonna really want to play these with games that are strictly gun related. Outside of that though, you're probably not gonna get a lot of use out of them. I'm gonna put them on my wall up here because they look dope as shit, but it's a win for me. I also think these would make a good gift for anyone who owns a Quest and might want to have like some cool extra accessories. So, Christmas season. What do you think? Do you own any gun attachments? Do you use them? Let me know in the comments down below so we can talk to each other about it. My name is Ari with FitPro VR, and don't forget to get your workout in today. Man, that sucks. I really wanted to trash these things. My trash review videos get way more views than these ones, so. Oh well. Good job, HelloReal.